The murder of Muhsin Hendricks, described as the world's first openly gay imam, has sent shockwaves through both the LGBTIQA+ and Muslim communities. Hendricks was shot and killed this weekend in Gqeberha. Newzroom Afrika's Nasiphi Same joins us with more on the story. Nasiphi, good morning. There's been reaction across South African society and globally as well. Momentarily, we'll talk to the Deputy Minister for Justice and Constitutional Development to talk about the constitutional aspects of what we know so far potentially could have happened. Tell us more about where you are and some of the conversations you're having with community members.
Well, Iman, what I can say is that following the news from Saturday morning where Imam Hendricks was gunned down around 10 o'clock in Gqeberha, sitting inside a vehicle where he was accosted by assailants who opened fire in the vehicle that he was sitting in and subsequently leading to his ultimate demise. We have seen an outpouring of condolences from every corner of South Africa and even globally as well, looking at the man that he was, the contribution that he also made, and creating what one would say a safe haven for LGBTQI plus community within the Muslim space. There's been an outpouring of that support. But to talk to us more, I'm joined by Khalid, who is the leader of the opposition party in the Western Cape legislature. Khalid, I think, firstly, I would want to find out, when you saw that video and hearing the news of Imam Hendricks being gunned down in Gqeberha, what was your immediate reaction?
Firstly, allow me to yet again express condolences to the family, friends and followers of Imam Hendricks. He was a gentle soul, having interacted with him. Even when we had moments of disagreement in interactions, it was always with humility and respect. And he provided a space for those who are vulnerable, a home for people who are vulnerable. Not only the LGBTQI+ community within the Muslim community, but I know and I can recall even refugees, even migrant workers, even young people who are affected by gangsterism and drugs could go to him and he would assist them. So really, we have lost a leader in society. I must say it was extremely shocking, saddening, and this murder needs to be condemned in the most strongest of terms. Justice must be served. But very importantly, what went through my mind was the discourse of intolerance and bigotry and homophobia that has contributed to what we saw. Yes, we don't know the motives. There's an investigation happening. But one couldn't help but immediately just think about, look, the hate that has been spread. And you see it now, even in the aftermath of the murder on social media. Certain people celebrating and spewing the most vile intolerance. Certainly, in a constitutional democracy such as ours, with the most progressive constitution in the world, this cannot be tolerated.
On that note, even some people that have expressed condolences on social media, many of them apprehensive in speaking to the media on camera. Imam Hendricks was described by many as a pioneer, coming out in 1996, also looking at the period for South Africa as a whole. The country was transitioning at that particular point in time.
Most certainly at a very crucial time in South Africa's democracy, he came out. And you know what? People have the right to have difference of opinion. South Africa respects, South African constitution respects religious diversity, religious traditions, people's views and interpretations. And that's understandable. And I think even within that context, and I want to commend at least organizations such as the Muslim Judicial Council, they came out, they condemned, they stated their view according to the perspective, but they condemned the killing and again emphasized that we're in a pluralistic society. And I think that's what's important, to understand that we have our religious freedoms, but You cannot express your religious freedoms and religious identity at the expense of other people's freedoms and identities. This democracy and this society, for it to be inclusive, requires us all to be tolerant and to have compassion towards each other.
We'll have to leave it there. Khalid Sayed there from the ANC, leader of the opposition in the provincial legislature. We all saw that video of the brazenness of the silence there this past Saturday, where Imam Hendricks was gunned down. And as I mentioned earlier on, that there's been an extreme number of outpouring of condolences to his loved ones, including families as well. But as we heard now from Khalid, that also during this period, one could say that it is a difficult period for his family as well, who's at the receiving end of some very negative comments that have been made on social media following his tragic passing.
Nasiphi Same, thank you very much for that conversation.